Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for August the 5th. It's 10:30 p.m. right now, and I just got home from work, and the futures reacted bad, like very bad. Unfortunately, I won't be trading tomorrow, but nonetheless, I thought that I'd make some sort of a watch list or some sort of an analysis for all my followers out there who actually follows up on my watch list on a nightly basis. So here's the thing. Look at the futures right now. We do see a major gap down of $44.50. So this correlates to the SPY at about $4.50. Okay, and the reason for this, I checked on the news real quick. Let's pull in the news. Asia shares hits 2 month lows because of the U.S. and China trade war. So basically, this is it. This is the panic move. Okay, and what I am looking for tomorrow. Taking a look at SPY right now. This is the daily chart on the SPY real quick, and let's focus in real quick. This yellow line here, this is Friday's closing price at 292.85. Okay, so if we're gapping down $4.50 or $4.40 minus $4, that's 288, around 288.60, 288.50 area right now. The blue line is where we're at, so we have gapped down a lot. Now what I'm looking at is it's probably going to go one of two ways, right? It's going to either rip and fill the gap tomorrow, or it's going to pop and drop and continue to fail. This is a massive panic move. If we haven't started panic here for the past 2-3 days, I think this move, this gap down in itself, will more than likely cause a panic. With that said, I guess the safest play to assume right now, without being able to see the pre-market action, is that at the open we should expect like a little cover pop back up either into yesterday's lows here at 290.90, which is kind of like the 291 area, or we are looking at the $290 mark, key psychological hold number as well, right? We also see that this blue EMA here, this is a 100 SMA on my daily chart. Okay, so it might get stuffed here at the 100. We are sitting under it. Now, on the bottom, I'm thinking to myself, where is support, right? So as I draw this line across at 286.90, okay, so 286.90, okay, it doesn't match up in the near term much. Where I got this support from is basically I scroll back on the SPY, and I went to the last spot where the SPY really took a dump, right? It's actually right here from this area on October 2018, October 10th to be exact. Let me zoom in here. And this was the high where we had that massive dump, 286.90, okay? So this is the next area of support, in my opinion. This is a key inflection point, right? If you're thinking about it, from last year when we had this massive dump, okay, and in the beginning of the year, now that we have recovered and got back above it, I think investors were like, oh, okay, finally we have recovered and we are setting new highs. There's nothing much to worry about. This in itself is an inflection point. And if the market does decide to test and snap, this is essentially 287. We're not that far away. We're about $1.50 away. And on the SPY, the average true range is about $1.50 anyways. So if we're sitting at 288.50, we could reach. And if this 287, 286.90 gives way, all hell will break loose. And we're going to see a stupid flush down. But before that, though, I mean, I guess pre-market is the most important part, and I'm looking at this 285 right now, just near-term horizontal support resistance, right? But if this 286.90 snaps and gives way, we're coming down fast. Okay. What's important to note right now is that we are trading under the 100 SMA on daily chart here. This could be a very key point of rejection or reclaim tomorrow. So watching this 290 and this 100 SMA on the daily chart here, if it pops, it could get all the way back up to the 291 and then fail from there or just chop sideways from there. Like most likely, I mean, with a massive gap down like this, there's two ways to think. Either it keeps going down or people take this as an opportunity. But however, looking at the fear and greed factor here real quick, we are in extreme fear, and from where we close, and from this news hitting, and from the futures coming out like this, it does look like the market's about to panic. So keep an eye on the futures here and see what it does tomorrow. With that said, what's going to be on my watch list? Right. Initially, I had two tickers on the watch list. I had Pinterest and Square. So let's take a look at Pinterest and Square real quick. However, because of this futures move, I do think um, Pinterest and Square could not really even be in play. As far as the long go, I mean, Pinterest, I really enjoyed the thesis on Pinterest on the long because it had a positive earnings reaction, and it held this 3250 all day, right? So this is a key support area. Okay, now with the SPY dropping like this, I think definitely this is going to test for sure. And from 3250, whether it holds or snap, you'll have to decide from there. Even though we did have a positive earnings catalyst, we are on a major gap up. The stock is very overextended. So there is two ways to trade this, either long or short. But with the SPY doing what it's doing right now, I do like it on a tad on the short side. We just got to wait for this 3250 to snap, right? We close at 3350. So we are looking at the $33 area as well. And this in itself is also a key inflection point. I mean, if you're coming into the daily chart over here, this 33 area on the daily chart from its IPO days, this was a key resistance, right? So it needs to hold. It needs to hold. It needs to for it to maintain strong. And if it does, then definitely long it and test the high of day, which is its all-time highs at 35.30, right? 35.30. Okay. That's my plan on Pinterest. All the analysts still came out with buy ratings on it, and they all target around the average of 38 to 40 bucks. So as far as the long goes, you have your targets. Wedbush gave it a 38, right? Deutsche Bank gave it a 38. We have some lower tier analysts came out also, gave it around 38 to 40. So Pinterest, I do like the long. However, if it does come down, I wouldn't be surprised because of the overall market condition. Every 50 cents is a mark on Pinterest. And this is a very nice, tight trader, right? The spread on it, I believe, is 1 penny. I've been trading this thing since the IPO open. So it's got a nice big float. It moves pretty clean. And the average true range is $1.40 on this ticker. So there is some nice moves on there. And of course, because of the catalyst, there is a high relative volume as well. So this stock is definitely in play. Next up, we are looking at SQ, which had a very negative earnings reaction. It dumps after hours from the earnings, and then it just pulled hard again on Friday. Now, Square does have a tendency to get affected by the overall market when it doesn't have higher than relative volume. However, with the SPY tanking like this, will people try to buy this dip is the question you need to ask yourself and what you want to watch, okay? This key level of $70, key psychological whole number, we are trading just a tad under it right now. It does look like Square is closing pretty strong from this massive dip. It is on SSR. However, because of the SPY condition, I don't think this thing will be able to reclaim 70 tomorrow. So looking for 70 to reject, right? Looking for a short anywhere from 70 to 70.20 area. Looking at for short and bring it down to test at least, excuse me, Friday's lows here. With that said, how far down can it go, right? We don't know. we really don't know. Looking like 65 is the next key level after we test the low of Friday, right? So from there, 65 or even here 66 as well. So every dollar on the downside, as long as SPY keeps dumping, I think people will be more hesitant to buy Square as well. So those are my initial two main watches. As well, with the SPY dumping hard, I will be focusing on some market leading stocks. So stocks that have a tendency to move according to the market. So the FANG names, right? Like Facebook, it's looking very, very weak right now. And if we are gapping down, it really depends where we gap down to around this 100 SMA. If it stays under, then it's going to fail hard, right? Facebook, Apple as well. Apple has a lot to do with the trade war tensions as well because of their phone sales over in China. So Apple, key area to watch is the 200, right? Amazon, let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon, not much to do with the trade war, not as much. However, I mean, overall market is pulling, so it might pull Amazon down with it as well. I usually don't trade Google, so I'm just going to skip over Google for now. But I mean, looking at this Google, though, we had a positive earnings. It looks like it's filling the gap. It could have bounced tomorrow since it kind of filled the gap. But now that the SPY is pulling, I mean, will Google be able to hold the SPY up, or is SPY going to take Google down with it? Okay, if SPY's going to take Google down with it, we do have a lot of room to come down to at least this 1180 here. I do like Nike tends to follow the SPY a lot, especially retail side. You should pay attention to the retail. It looks very, very weak. Baba, let's take a look at Baba. Baba is basically the main biggest stock from the Chinese side to the US side, right? So this is like a Chinese retail and traded in the US. So 160, very key to watch. If it stays under 160, go ahead and short it. Baba has a long ways to come down if overall the market's acting all weird and in fear. Okay, this hard pull, this is a really hard pull, man. So Baba, I'm also watching. Roku might or might not get affected. Roku does tend to follow the market when it doesn't have some significant news. So with that said, Roku's sitting at the 100 area, which is a very key area. I do like to watch Roku. If it stays under 100, the theory is to short it at every pop it tries to hit the 100 and then bring it down to the 95 area. Okay, so that's Roku, one of my favorite tickers. Let's take a look at Boeing. Boeing with the Dow Jones Industrial. I'm not sure if this is gonna get affected by the trade war news, but Boeing overall, it's not a buy in my opinion because of its delays in fixing the 737 Max issue. So more likely a short than anything. I do like a pop and drop. More of the main names here. 340, very key to watch. Over under 340, maybe even 342. Okay, so that's Boeing. And then finally we have Netflix that will be on the side watch tomorrow. Netflix tried to recover from its bad earnings reaction, right? But like I said, once again, thinking about the SPY again, with the SPY pulling down, is it going to pull Netflix down with it? And if it does, if it snaps this 310, is it going to stay under 310? And if it does stay under 310, next area, we're magneting to 300 and beyond. So taking a look at this here, the low of this day was 301.65. So make sure you mark that off, 301.65 on January 07th. And then the next gap down, we have 297.80. Okay, so if 301.65 snaps, and then we have 300, and then we have 207.80. Okay, so that's Netflix, and that's basically it for my watch list this evening. With that said, make sure you guys trade safe tomorrow. Always remember that there is a possibility of people wanting to buy the dip, right? However, with such a major gap down, I don't think along is what we should be looking for tomorrow. Instead, we should be looking for pop and drop, or yeah. If you can wait it out to till the SPY bottoms out, which we don't know where, then wait it out before you long. But I guess the first play here is for a pop and drop. So with that said, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know what you think about my analysis. Subscribe, share this video. It's for free. I do it for all you guys out there. And have a great evening, and see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Ciao.